This all so worth it. Like, really. Just to go through all of this. Just to control this pointless power. Yes, Jiraiya says. And you need the control. And that's why I asked time to ask for another year. Excuse me? The blonde says. The original plan was going to go for 3, but, well, we saw that we can do a bit more in probably in 4 years. So, yeah. I'll be back until I'm 16, the blonde says. Our original plan was 50. I'll be back until 17. I don't want to be back until then. Dry out sigh. Yeah, we understand. But do you have another plan that can, wrap this all up? Yeah. Shadow clones, the blonde says. You want to train your shadow clones and using the Kyuubi's chakra, what Jiraiya says, along with your attendants, along with your werewolf chakra too. Because if you need to remember, you lost complete control. You didn't destroy anything. Not too bad, but you pretty much messed up a lot of things around you. Yeah, understandable. What do you want me to do? Control. Before that, you need to control the 4 tails of the 9 tails chakra. Then control the wolf. Control your werewolf 4 tails as well. Once you control that, maybe we'll see afterwards. See if you can handle it. Handle the combined forces of the power. Simply, the blonde nodded his understanding. So you could go through it. After they fully recovered from their last intense sparring, they decided to, pick it up. So the first thing they did once they got back on their feet was bring out the Kyuubi's chakra. Naruto took out the 3 tails. Jiraiya didn't want no mistakes, so they decided to master the first 3 tails. So Naruto was meant to use the first tail for a full day in combat. All day. So it could be easier to control, even with the Kyuubi's influence. This will make it stronger when he's under the influence of the Kyuubi and even the animalistic tendencies of the werewolf. This would make things so much easier for the blonde's mind. It was difficult, but he prevailed. Under the few months of the so-called last year, he got down to the fourth tail pretty quickly with shadow clones. And how those suppression suits are being used. They're down to the last ones. The blonde simply went as pulling out the Kyuubi's chakra. First, he'll go to the first tails, to the 3 tails. He was actually in complete control. It was more similar to how he was when he was controlling the wolf. It was like he just acted normal, but just more animalistic tendencies and a bit of an anger. And he's a bit more angry, more riled up. So he has to control that. But anything else, the Kyuubi can't really control him until he gets to the 4th tail. The blonde did so, hitting the 4th tail. After hitting it, he found it was very difficult. Once he hit the 4th tail, it was hard. For a second, he lost to the Kyuubi until he kicked back and remember his promise. He promised Sakura that he was gonna get Sasuke back. He's gonna keep that promise. no matter what. Literally. So, that's the blonde got control of the fourth tail. And they trained upon each of the tails. With the werewolf, it was basically the same. Just control it. But when it came down to merging the two, it was a bit difficult. The blonde had to focus on the QB along with his animal instincts and urges and influence of the curse affecting his mind, but also the QB's influence, which made it difficult. So when he did use both powers, it was actually really dangerous. And this guy actually gave the QB a chance to take complete control over his body, which has happened multiple times in the last year. The blonde decided he had an idea. Decided to go within his subconscious. And surprisingly finding that the chakra of the curse was there. It lingered. He could feel it. So he decided to make his connection to the curse stronger by allowing the curse to flow more freely through his coils. As it flowed more freely, he can feel some of the restraints upon that he put on curse release. Giving into just a bit. If he wants to live, it will help him live. It's basically a tool. But yet he just can't fully understand it yet. So when he combined the two powers, ever since that day, it was a bit easier. Only thing you need to deal with is the animal urges and instincts. And the whispers in his mind of the QB, then the other host of the curse, whispering in his mind to go, just kill things. Yes, the other hosts of the werewolf curse also existed in the curse as well. It was a weird thing, because it was like strange, but it felt sentient. They were there. He knew they were there. There's no doubt. But once it was all done, the blonde decided to go a step further. Without Jiraiya and Minato knowing, he decided to take up to the five tails. And he wondered how strong he would have been. So taking up to five tails, he found that five tails was just a bit beyond his restraint. Once they found out, it was more than a disaster. Five tails between the QBs and the werewolf curse was a bit too much. Jiraiya got a bit more of he had a bit of a problem. Jiraiya's scar actually was a bit more nastier than originally. Minato had a huge gash upon his template, upon the very top of his throat to the very side of his waist that was going straight down. It was a very jagged scar from the cubified wolf Naruto. It was dangerous. But things were pretty good. Anything else, it was after they controlled the five tails, they didn't bother going to six tails. That was the next stage, where Shikubi had a bit more freedom. The blonde did never wanted to go down to the next stage. Just going to five tails was his max, and that was it. He had full control of five tails of both of the curse's chakra along with the Biju's chakra. That was it. Nothing else. Oh, once the end of the train trip was over, things were pretty swell. It was the last day upon being outside, as the blonde simply said, "So, all of this training, did we achieve our goal or what we were aiming for?" Jiraiya was simply saying, "Yeah, Gaki, we achieved it all right. We achieved it very well. You did good." Minato smiled. "You did." As rubbing Naruto's head simply, "You did very well." This one thing is, you need to cut your hair a bit. The blonde's hair had been past his shoulders by now. I was simply looking at it. Yeah, I'll get it cut by tomorrow. Probably go to get it cut tomorrow. Promise. Naruto will smile. You do that. Alright. Calling it a night. As Jiraiya will do the same, the blonde won't even look up. It's simply deciding he'll also do the same, closing his eyes simply as falling asleep. But he felt different. Opening his eyes, knowing where he was, seeing that he was in his mindscape. Seeing that he was in front of the cage. Seeing the red, pure-blooded eyes peering down from the darkness, simply looking at the red slitted eyes as the blonde simply said, "What do you want?" The fox only looked, just looking at him, nothing else. Throughout the 4.5 years, as the beast simply said, for 4.5 years that you've been training out the damn village, as the fox says, you haven't talked to me face to face. Why? Are you afraid? Oh, I just don't want to see your ugly face. That's what I don't want to see. The fox would simply growl at that. Call me impressed. But I have to admit, I'm impressed by your pitiful control over my chakra. 5 tails, I'm impressed. And along with getting to 5 tails upon the lycanthropy curse's power as well. Call me impressed. I'm more than impressed, the fox says. For a flesh bat, that is. The fox simply says, you were one of the long-lasting humans who hold the curse of the werewolf. And the long-living one, too. Most of those would have been dead by now, or long lost their minds. The fox simply chuckled. So you're impressed, that's it. Anything else you want? Nothing else, the fox simply laid. Now leave me be. I must rest. Whatever you want, fuzzball. As the blonde simply exited the mindscape. The blonde opened his eyes, finding himself back in, the area that they were in. The blonde closed his eyes, heading back to sleep. As immediately he heard a snap. You get up quickly as looking around for what was that sound? What was that? Getting up slowly as simply looking around. Okay. That was strange. He heard something. He knew he did. So putting his senses into his hearing and being as his acute senses was pick up the snap again. So he wanted to go follow it. He knew something was out there. Something was watching them. He felt it, the eyes. They were out there somewhere. So the blonde decided to go deeper into the forest. Looking around, he found himself in a clearing. Where the hell? As immediately stopped to turn around to see a creature. It was a creature, alright. He didn't know what it was, but it simply snarled. As it sniffed the air, as simply looking, said, "So," I said in a very raspy voice, "you carry upon our queen. How pitiful. You flashbacks and imprison our queen and decide to use her power against her. That you shall pay with your life. Who the hell are you?" "I am the loyal servant to the QB, the last one, and was sent by the great majesty to see where the queen has been." Queen? What queen are you talking about? The queen of the demons herself. You, you held her back from being free. She should be reigning over the underworld, but you hold her back. You keep her in this pitiful earthland. I shall rid her from her pain. And once she's free, she can finally be returned back to the underworld where she rightfully belongs. You realize what he was talking about? Talking about the QB, aren't you? Yes, I am. The QB no Yoko, the most powerful of the tailed demons. You hold her back, and my king sent me to free his mate, and so shall I do. Mate, the QB's a female, a woman? Damn that fuzzball for not saying anything. Well, as the blonde get to a fighting stance, as immediate demons disappear, where the hell did he go? As the creature would swing, the blonde will try to get a good look at him, but because of the shadow, because it was so dark around, he couldn't see him very well. As he would only know that his claws were very sharp. The blonde grabbed his claw, his thrusting limb, and decided to throw him back. As simply the creature would land on all fours. He felt scaly. That's one thing he did know. Simply decided, okay, that's it. As they decided to go for it, as it seemed like they were equal, the bond dodged, and simply the demon would dodge as well. There was really nothing that can really stop this creature from, attacking until it threw a swipe. Decided to dodge. He dodged it and simply jumped back. The demon would simply throw his fist forward as the blonde dodged again, but then the next thing he knew, the tree behind him was completely slashed in half. He knew that now this creature was getting serious. So he decided to use some of, not the QB's chakra, but the curse's power. As his fangs and eyes would become more feral. Immediately, the demon's eyes would widen and see this. How are you using that power? A wolf has not been seen in a millennium, and for you to survive for this long, this only means one thing: the return of the Juby. A pitiful human cannot be the Juby, no matter what. I despise it. You, one of the tailed ones. I refuse. You. As his eyes would glow, you must die. As thrusting his arm forward, the blonde simply grabbed the arm and simply started throwing him up as simply his hand would become a lit of blue flame, as immediately incinerating him. As seeing with the light before he was incinerated, he was like some type of human hybrid of I guess you could say a lizard man with large fangs and a very reptilian head, as he would be disintegrated. The blonde simply see as the ashes would only blow through the wind. As if the blonde's features would return back to normal. What was he talking about? QB's a woman, so that's something. No wonder I always felt so weird. Always every few months. No wonder I felt so weird every few months. It was weird. No wonder I was so aggressive at those times. Especially when the pervy stage was peeping. I hated it. Damn Fox's period probably rubbed off on me. But he said Juby. As in 10 tails? There's a 10-tailed beast? Okay, I need to get answers. He was simply scratching his head, so confused. A few hours later, the blonde decided to do something for himself. His hair was starting to get in the way, like really in the way. So he decided to cut it up. It was not how it used to be. It was a bit shorter than Minato. It was shorter than Minato's, but close enough. Then most of his hair was pointing on the left side of his head. Left side of his head. So basically it was covering the left side of his face. But his hair was still messing in this downright untamable. The blonde found it strange. He liked the style, but he can probably get used to it a bit later. The blonde's bangs would be a bit long and uneven on the left side of his head. Probably grow it out a bit longer. Looking to the side as immediately seeing his father. "Oh, you look nice," Miyato smiled. "Yeah, I had an encounter." As Jiraiya and Minato become serious, an encounter with a demon. They'll be shocked to hear this. A demon? From the underworld. Yeah, the blonde says. He said something about a ten-tailed beast. There's a ten-tailed beast, Minato says in shock. Yeah, he called me the Jubi for some odd reason. I don't know why. They put me off. Surprisingly, he gave me a pretty big bombshell. Did you know the Kyuubi was a woman? Huh? As the two men only looked at the blonde. As Jiraiya was supposed to say, the Kyuubi is a woman. As now I'm thinking about it, recently through the past 3 years, Naruto around every few months of the year would act really different. He thought it was down to the Kyuubi's, some of being the Kyuubi's problem, but he didn't know that it was actually that deep. So the Kyuubi was on her periods when that happened. No wonder you're more feminine at those times. The blonde simply scowled. I was not more effeminate. You were pretty much being Jiraiya sensei, as Miyako simply says. Because he was peeping, the blonde says. I don't know why. Yeah, can't you just, give women their space or not peep? Because that's really disgusting, the blonde simply snarled. And there he goes again. Damn, maybe the fox's period times are rubbing off on me. I'll settle that later with that damn fox anyways. Alright, the blonde says. We'll do that later. First, let's get back home. We're close to Konoha anyways. I need some Ichiraku. And it's been a long deserve. Jiraiya will simply sigh. That's one thing we can change. Your brats will eat your arm like there's no tomorrow. You're right, Sensei. You're right. I don't think that's ever gonna change. Ramen, 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 here I come. A few hours later, they arrived at Konoha gates. Finally, I'm back. The blonde looked at the gates and simply seeing the two eternal gate guards as smiling at them. Yo, as they would be surprised as seeing a blonde. Is that the Yondaime? No, he's right there. Looking at the blonde, seeing that he was similar just with the Yondaime, but he had his own, pretty much cloak, but instead it was red with black flames on it, similar to the sage cloak that he had. The blonde simply walked off. As Jiraiya simply say, How's things going over here on this side of the village? As I forgot his name. I bet you would simply say, good. That really is Naruto. No way. Is that? Well, as I bet you would simply say, things will be going really good, interesting. Especially with his pranks. Let's see what he'll do now. Things will be a lot more lively with him and Konohamaru. Oh, God. Oh, Kami, please have mercy upon our souls. Yeah. We're gonna go see Haim now, as Jirai simply says. Yes, Jirai-sama, that's the two guards simply say. I wonder what that kid would do now. Yeah. What would he do? Knowing that one little factor happened recently. Oh. I feel bad for the brat. I don't feel bad for him at all. I think he needs it. You sure? Yeah, he needs it. The blonde look over, seeing the village, as sitting on top of the light of a pole that's simply looking down the village. This is beautiful. And look at that, they put Granny's face on the Hokage monument. Huh. Soon I got my own face up there eventually. I promised that to myself. I will become Hokage. The blonde smiled. But first, we need to find some ramen. Immediately happened to hear something. I was looking down to see, hey, is that? As immediately seeing who it was, jumping down to see Sakura along with Konohamaru and the rest of his ragtag group. It was pretty like the original. The blondes proceeded to act mature for a few seconds, but then become immature in a blink of an eye. Sakura gave him a good sock to the face, sending him back a few meters, and proceeded to, I guess, chew him and spit him out. After arriving at Hokage Tower, simply rubbing his head. Gosh, Sakura hasn't changed one bit. Not at all. Heck. I don't want to be hit by her punches anymore. It's already bad enough before, but now it's Tsunade Bachan's strength. I don't even want to imagine how far she can punch me. Probably kilometers. The blonde was, as Tsunade says, that's good. You achieved what you needed to achieve, right? Jiraiya says, of course we did, Haim. You didn't think we could? I simply, well, that's nice. The blonde simply, but we also have to for you to make a test for you both. A test, the blonde says, for what? For Team 7 once more, to see how far you both came along. The blonde blinked as hearing that. Oh, Granny, are you doubting on my strengths? Because I'm pretty strong, not gonna lie, and awesome. I'm not doubting your strength at all, brat. Alright, then who's gonna be performing this test? Well, you know who, as a voice would say, as the blonde would be making his way towards the window, see Kakashi. Kakashi-sensei. Huh, look at that. You all grown up, Naruto. That's nice. The blonde will smile as jumping through the window, leaning over Kakashi, going through his pouch, saying, yeah, pretty much, as pulling out a book as simply Kakashi's eyes are wide in shock. Is that yep, it's the new Icha. Personally, I had to proofread through Pervy Sage's material. And yes, Do-chan made me do it. I had no choice. I don't know why you guys pretty much like this, but, here, as much as my teachers are perverts, It's really a shame that my dad's a pervert too. God, I should have seen that coming. I simply giving them the book. This changes everything. As he simply opened the book, as looking as it would shine with a glow. As simply closing it right in front of it, and stopping is saying, "Well," as putting it in his pouch, saying, "That's good to know. But now," as Kachi says, "we had some new candidates to our team." New candidates to our team? Who? Well, why don't you want to see? As simply jumping in as the blonde would follow back to the Kage office. As the door would open, as the blonde was like, "Oh, come on, they're still here?" As seeing, well, a tall redhead as she would be seeing her father. "Dad?" "Ah, Mito," as Minato smiled. She would quickly rush to her father, hugging him. "It's been so long, I haven't seen you in 3 years. "Yeah, relax," as Minato would simply say. As Memo walk in, same shaggy hair, but his hair is more dyed. Pretty much full black, with only red streaks in his hair. Simply saying, "You're finally back, Dad. Good to see you again." Memo simply smile. "You too. Look how much you've grown." I simply feel the weight behind his back as Minato turned. "And that's you also. Gosh, you've grown so much." Kushino walked in there, saying, "No kidding." "Oh, Naruto, it's good to see you again." Ash, "How's my little Suchi?" The blonde grabbed her wrist as immediately before she touched his head. I appreciate that, Uzumaki-sama, but we're not on that mother and son relationship at all." Kushina's heart would break again, seeing that her son still is not accepting her at all. Letting go of her wrist, that's simply saying, "But I'm giving you a second chance. I still made that promise." The blonde turned towards Tsunade, saying, "So, who are the recruits?" "Well, as you know," as she basically pointed to them, to his siblings and his mother. "You're kidding me," the blonde says. "I came back just left for training for 3 years, dealing with these two. And believe me, Prairie Sage is not helping me at all." "Hey," as Jiraiya says, "Gaki, I trained you pretty good." "Uh-huh. I probably wouldn't be half as strong as I was if Dad wasn't around. You're always peeping on those damn women in the brothels." "Now, let's talk about that," Jiraiya says. "What?" Tsunade says. "Peeping? When?" The blonde had a devious smile. "Well, let's think about this." As pulling out a book out of nowhere, flipping through the first page. "So, the first part of our training, he skipped me to head to the hot spring to peep on some women and spend all my money on the next few towns in brothels, sleep with women." As we're going through along another page, spend more of my money, made me read his Echa. I had actually produced an Echa story because he forced me to, along with Dochan. Not to sweat as seeing Kushino's glare. "What? Now, let's not get too hasty here." And also, as saying the last thing, closing the book, they also did a movie, which I had to participate in, well, as the blonde would blush, scenes. Kushina, along with Mito and Naruto, would glare. Tsunade's glare would be more of a deaf glare, as simply looking at Jiraiya. As Kushina say, "Minato, you didn't participate in this, did you?" "No, I didn't. I never did at all." "I swear," asked Minato, simply saying, sweating. No, no, you didn't. Don't lie, the blonde says. You also went to some brothels as well. Got drunk. Had a few one-night stands, you know. Kush's eyes would twitch as and Tsunade would growl. So you two were spending more time peeping and spending money on women instead of training Naruto, as Tsunade simply says. It's not like that, Heim. I swear, Jiraiya says. As immediately a blur would pass through the village completely as crashing into the outer side of the village as a huge cloud of debris would form, along with another blur following, as seeing a huge, pretty much wall in the Hokage office that send Jiraiya and Minato out the office completely, out of the office completely. The mom whistled. Damn. You took it pretty far, didn't you? Sorry, says, you weren't violated, were you? Oh, no. I had to do a kissing scene in one of the movies, but that was fine. There's always one time I almost got raped by one of these women in the brothels. Totally okay, you know? I'm so sorry about that. I knew I should have come along with the trip. That's not even half of what they did to me. Especially Pervy Sage. What did he do? More than once I used my second jutsu. Huh? Asked Sailor exclaimed. Oh, Kakashi says. His sexy jutsu, Kakashi simply says. It's basically, more like Naruto, simply, but nude. Huh? Ashley says surprisingly towards her brother. Now, first of all, I didn't know he even existed. So I just did something that looked like me. I just did a girl version of me. And, well, you look like me. Damn it. Well, shit. That's how I originally did it for Pervy Sage. And gosh, as the bone was shiver, was remembering something. He didn't touch. Oh no. He did worse than touch. He tried grappling me once. Ugh. Not the best thing. For this side mission, just for training, he wanted me to go through this whole day in its brothel. And this weird buddy maid dress. It was creeped me out. Ugh. Never shall I ever go through that again. It was horrifying. Asplon shivered. I have to remind Jiraiya where his priorities lay. Don't say you need to teach Minato what's more important. They would wait until the two former Hokage along with the toe Sonic come back, as they would be pretty much bruised. As simply they would say, alright. As just the family, the Namikaze family, along with the Hokage, would basically be in the room. How was the other part of your training? Jiraiya gets to a serious voice saying, you got to five tails. 5 tails, Tsunade says. Good job, Naruto. The boss says, good job. I deserve more than a good job, the blonde says. I'm awesome. I didn't just get both 5 tails and the 9 tails chakra. I did my cursed chakra too. And also, I can combine them both and control 5 tails. And the 6th member says, work in progress. Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh, you shut up, the blonde simply growled. We also learned some new, important things, Jiraiya simply said in a very thoughtful manner. Did you know that the QB is a woman? As Jiraiya simply smiled. Everyone will stay quiet as simply she says, you didn't know that? Minato Jiraiya will blink as Naruto will say, wait, you knew? Of course I knew. The moment I met the fox, of course I knew that she was a woman. Tsunade met her as well. Yes, Jiraiya, she was a woman. What are you saying? There's also, Kushida says, there were times where when I was on my periods, it was difficult to control my rage because it wasn't just me on my periods, it was also the QB as well. No wonder you're so aggressive those times, Minato simply says. He beat the crap out of me of those times. Some of those he deserved. As Kushida simply says, not all of them. They still give me some phantom pains here and there. Jiraiya would pale us now knowing where Naruto's fits of feminine fury came from. So that's where those came from. I thought that was the worst. Look at the blonde simply taking a few steps back. The bum was Sensei saying, what? What happened? As Tsunade says, let's just say Naruto also has his own type of daily month. They blinked as Memma says, you have a period? No, the blonde says. It's more of a mental thing. So it's like the QB pretty much just drops it on me and it's like, it's a share, like we share it. I can still feel her agitation and, not pissed off and emotional, especially anger and mad, but it rubs off on me a lot, maybe a bit too much. I did caught you peeping. Do you remember that time you made me do that brothel thing? That was a good day for me. After I beat the crap out of you, Perry Sage. Of course, it was a good day for you. You beat the crap out of me like no one else did before. Yes, Minato says, you did beat the crap out of Jiraiya Sensei. It was worse than Kushina and Tsunade. Tsunade's all I ever do. As he shivered. I remember how the bunch of Naruto clones would beat the crap out of Jiraiya after that mission went wrong. Went horribly wrong after the blonde in his sexy jutsu got grew up by some drunk. The drunk got beat to a crap, along with Jiraiya as well. Tsunade would smile. Well, I guess feminine fury is still holding very well. The blonde says, so, when were you going to tell me that Chibi was a woman? Kushida says, I thought you would have known by now. Or at least picked it up by now. No, the blonde says, I didn't know. I couldn't tell. The fox says, grouchy all the time. And really bitchy, too. She's bitchy all the time, but maybe I should have put dots together at the time. Damn, I'm stupid, the blonde simply says under his breath. As he would hear a snort. So you finally call yourself stupid, and you agree with it too. As hearing the fox just start to chuckle. Oh, you shut up, you damn. Why did you not tell me? Why should I tell you? The fox simply says. It's my business. Yeah, with your damn period rubbed off on me in the wrong way. Wow, that's like a you problem. Damn fuzzball. The blonde sigh. Well, the blonde says, if it were for all, I gonna go home, eat some ramen, and hit the haze. 'Cause this wolf gotta sleep. Excuse me while I go and take a nap. As the blonde leave the area, leaving as close to the door. His siblings will follow quickly behind, gonna see how their brother's training and if he learned any cool jutsus. This is when Tsunaya says, so, how bad was the damage using the chakra of the wolf and the fox? With his curse, the Crafty curse, it was pretty difficult. There were times where he pretty much almost fucked us up. He almost turned Minato too. So surprised to hear that he almost turned you? Yeah, he almost did turn me. As Minato will show the scar, simply they will all be shocked. Tsunade says, how did you? It was a silver that helped. I stabbed myself with the silver a few moments afterwards. Well, I didn't stab myself with it. More like I was trying to stab him with it, and basically he redirected it towards me. Which I presume the silver canceled out the effects immediately before they could take root. But then Jiraiya, since they pretty much pinned him down with the silver chakra rods, then we proceeded to, the usual. So, as Jiraiya says, that's what was done. Well, maybe next time you all will learn how to at least be a bit more careful. With the QB, was a bit more difficult. It was harder to learn how to control the fox's chakra, along with trying to hold back the fox's influence too. She made it difficult. More than difficult. As Jiraiya was saying, but luckily if it weren't for that, if it weren't for me being a seal master, well, our blonde Gaki would be pretty much gone. Kushina says, well, if he was gone, you wouldn't even be standing here right now, as Kushina simply says. Jiraiya would pay us, now knowing that maybe saying that was not the right idea. Not gone, but still around. Kushina's eyes are narrow, as saying, how bad does a chakra have on his body? When he uses it originally, it's pretty bad, where he pretty much can't move after he uses both of them in combination. Can he control it? Mentally, he can. It just takes a bit more control. He still has urges, he'll go wild still, but he can be put back if you talk to him, and he'll return back to control. He'll act more animalistic. He won't talk as much. He'll growl, though, for response. Depends how the girth of the growl sounds. If it's a bit of a louder, deeper growl, it's a yes. If he bears his fangs, it's a no, Jiraiya says. And personally, I almost felt that, as he would pretty much try to hide his family jewels. He tried biting it during those months, didn't he? More than once. I think the QB took control a couple of times during the months. I think she was trying to tear off my family jewels. Or she just got annoyed. I don't know what between one or the other. But I really do like what I have between me legs, as Jiraiya simply say. But anything else, it was pretty good, Naruto simply says. Good, Tsunade says. He'll be tested tomorrow by Kakashi and the others. We'll see how good he is in controlling it. Yeah. Anything else? He hasn't changed anyone else, has he? No, not recently. Not really. Has he ever ran out? A couple of times. When he's in the wild, let's just say, the wolf side of him is a bit more open. And especially when it's the full moon, he does mostly just wolfs out. He basically just loses control of his mind and just goes on a killing spree. He just goes on a killing spree. Yeah, there's literally no reason with him until it's morning, the next morning. So basically, yeah, that needs to be fixed. We have no way around it, so we're just gonna figure something else how to deal with it. But he can't hold it in. It's just, he's just gonna need to relieve the urge eventually. Good, Tsunade says. Is that good enough? Kushina says, I'll be a bit more comfortable if he had a bit more control of the full moon problem, but bears can't be choosers, Kushina says. Well, if you don't mind me, Jiraiya says, I'm gonna go do some research. I'll be back. Call me if you need me. As Minato said, I'm gonna go home back to Uzu for a few days to rest. I deserve it. As he'll flash away, disappearing, as Kushina would already know, he would probably be already back in Uzu. How would he take it with you basically now living in Konoha? As Tsunade was saying, I don't know. I hope he gives me a second chance.